Seasoner
and Co.
Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to
Second-Hand Haunting,
where we read ghost stories from a second-hand book someone got from a second-hand library and try and make sense of them.
Fun of them.
Sense of them.
Fun of them.
Sense of them.
Fun of them, please?
Oh, okay. As a treat. Hey, Amber.
Hi, Callum.
What a horrible rainy Sunday afternoon we've got today.
So humid.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah.
What better way to pass the spooky, drizzly, rainy time than with a spooky, drizzly, rainy story?
Well, you don't know what story we're doing today.
No, I didn't have anything prepared, and you're like, hey, let's record. I'm like, okay, I'll just grab a book from the shelf, but what have you got there?
Well, recently I got access to Adelaide's Bar Smith Library, and I decided to spend a lunch break going down there and having a look amongst the shelves and within their catalogues and seeing what kind of story I could come up with for you.
So, you've got a borrowed book.
Yes, but... so the book is 13 Tennessee Ghosts and Jeffrey.
Okay, I'm... Oh, brilliant. I am vaguely aware of the And Jeffrey series. Mm-hmm. This is not the first in that line. I think the first was 13 Alabama Ghosts and Jeffrey. Do you know anything about the title?
Not really. No? I've got to be honest, I didn't even realise the And Jeffrey was hiding at the bottom of the title of the book when I looked at it.
Okay. Let's see. From memory, the author who you've probably got there, because I don't.
Yeah. Ben Windham and Kathryn Tucker Windham and Dilsey Windham Hilly.
Okay, yeah, it's a whole family affair.
Yeah.
So, I think as folklorists, they went around and collated 13 ghost stories from near where they lived in Alabama at the time. Mm-hmm. But as a sort of wraparound to the anthology, they included their own personal ghost story of their own personal haunted house that they were currently living in that was haunted by a ghost called Jeffrey.
Right.
So it is 13 discrete stories, and also they talk a bit about their own experiences with Jeffrey.
Yes, I think there's also an illustration of Jeffrey doing something mildly related to the story, like at the start of every story.
Oh my god, okay. That's amazing. I don't know if that starts in the first book or not, but obviously they wrote a whole series of books, which I think is all like Southern American states,
I think so.
Alabama, Tennessee.
The Bar Smith Library has the whole collection, I believe.
Oh, do they now?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So what makes this so second-hand haunting, or should I say third-hand haunting? Because,
yeah, okay.
you know, sometimes we read these books and they're not the direct source. They've been taken from somewhere.
Sure.
Well,
yeah.
This book was nice enough to directly say where the source of this story came from.
Sign of a good researcher.
Yeah, so then I went and tracked down that source that it came from. So we had the true source where they got it from, and in that source, they have transcripts of interviews they did with people in the town that they got all the info from. So we've got 3 sources of this story.
Oh, no. Okay, hang on. All right. That's very complicated. Which one are we then reading today?
We're going to read the 13 Tennessee Ghosts and Jeffrey version.
Okay.
Because the other one that they cut it from was the Tennessee Folklore Society Bulletin.
Oh, so it's okay. So it's not quite a publication.
No,
it's like minutes from a community PTA meeting.
Yes, here's one of the latest stories that we've heard about and we're going to look into, and we've interviewed some people. Here we are presenting the information to our members. So that version is very dry and just facts-based investigation.
Okay.
Not maybe the best thing to read out. It'd be not as interesting as this
Yeah. That's
more narrative-driven version of it. But I think we should definitely look into both a bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we've got the text from them, and if they contradict each other in any way, we should probably point that out. But I can't say that I'm not guilty of reading the same story across multiple books, because these books all reference each other, right? And picking the most entertaining retelling to bring to the table here.
Yes, definitely.
So let's do that today as well, eh?
Yeah. Now, do you know when a story, the title of it just jumps out and you know that's probably going to be the one you'll read?
Yes, from multiple times, but also specifically from when I researched 13 Alabama Ghosts and Jeffrey. There's some choice titles in there.
I think these guys are great at naming.
Okay, does it or does it not beat, quote, the hole that will not stay filled?
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's Alabama. I'm tempted to go to that sometime. But what do we got today?
I'm going to read you The Barrel of Sin.
The Barrel of Sin.
Yes.
Is it just a whiskey barrel?
Who knows?
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay, so the Tennessee Folklore Society Bulletin dates this at 90 years ago from the point of publication, which was 1971. So
Okay, so this is 1881.
Yep.
Okay. Prohibition had not become a thing yet. Cowboys were definitely a thing, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, here we go. The revival at the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church was nearly over. For more than a week, families in the Big Springs community of Rutherford County had gathered nightly at the small rural church for the annual ritual of spiritual renewal.
Okay, I'll take that as just a church event. Yeah.
The worshippers who lived close to the church walked to the services. Others rode to the church on horseback or jolted over the rocky roads in buggies and mule-drawn wagons.
Beautiful.
While the women and the children went into the church to choose their seats, the men loitered outside to tie their animals to the long hitching posts beneath the trees to brag on their crops.
To what?
To brag on their crops.
Oh, so like the women have all gone inside
hang on.
to get seat?
Sorry. To brag on their crops, tell a few stories, or discuss the weather, speaking in subdued tones as befitted a churchyard. Okay. So they're just saying how things are going. They're just shooting the shit before church starts.
Yep, pre-church small talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All women go inside and the men stay out.
It was rainy the other day. Yeah, I know, my corn's looking real good this season. Meanwhile, the women inside, I don't know, fanning themselves.
Yep. Not until the congregation began singing the opening hymn did most of the men break off their conversations and join their families inside the sultry building.
I suspect this barrel might not be the only thing full of sin in this here town.
Hope he don't preach about hell again tonight. It's already too hot inside the church house, a sweating farmer whispered.
Okay. So okay. When you said that we have a very dry text and another text, this one's sopping.
He was standing inside the door and looking around to see where his wife was sitting. Amen, his companion answered ever so softly. Oh, sorry, amen.
It's fine.
It was hot. The string of bright, rainless days had dried up gardens and lowered the water level in some wells so drastically that the ropes on the buckets had to be lengthened.
Yeah, this is what they were all talking about outside, I'm sure. Oh, God, I don't know if I'd prefer to be in or out of that church.
There was some easiness that, unless the rains came soon, the creek would be so low that baptizings would have to be postponed.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Ever since the church was established in 1846, baptism of new converts had always been held the Sunday after the revival closed. But now the creek was so shallow that immersion would be impossible. They're living in sin, Callum.
I never thought I would give it to the Mormons for doing it in like an indoor bathtub. There you go.
It would be a pity to have to put off the baptisms. An unusually large number of people had asked to be received into the fellowship of the church.
Oh, sure, Pastor, sure.
Not just they want to cool off in the...
Yeah, it doesn't sound cool in there.
No, but... cool off in the creek when they get dunked.
Oh, yeah. You're allowed to swim.
It's true.
Oh, hang on, 1880s, maybe you're not.
Among the first converts to join the church was Miss Bertha. On the second verse of the invitational hymn, the very first night of the revival, she squeezed past people on her bench, walked down the aisle, and gave her hand to the waiting preacher. It wasn't Miss Bertha's first trip down the aisle. She joined every summer.
Oh, okay. Sure. I didn't know you could renew your baptism, but yeah, all right. Why not? I will say, I was aware that, was it Kathryn Windham? Mm-hmm. Did pick stories that spoke to rural Southern American culture. Mm-hmm. Was her priority of which stories she included. And I can see that.
Yeah.
I get that very much here.
The thing was, she was a faithful joiner of the Methodist Church too. The Methodists generally had their revival early...
Hang on, what? She's in two churches.
Double dipping.
Yeah!
Literally double dipping.
Yeah.
I like how you caught that, like, whoa, hang on.
Okay, Bertha, huh?
Yep. The Methodists generally had their revival early in the summer, and Miss Bertha was always right there to receive the right hand of Christian fellowship when the preacher announced that the doors of the Methodist Church were open.
She just wants to be included.
Yeah, she just enjoys religion.
Yeah. Any religion, doesn't matter.
Then 8 or 10 weeks later, when the Baptists had their revival, she would switch allegiance and ask for a membership in the Baptist Fellowship. So actually...
Switching allegiance, that... You're all Christians! Calm down!
So actually, Miss Bertha's joining didn't really count. It was widely felt, however, that she was more Baptist than Methodist, even though her joinings were equal in number, since she stayed Baptist all through fall, winter, and spring until the Methodist revival in June.
Look, I get it. People's souls are at stake here with this kind of thing, but what's the difference? I don't know what the difference is between Methodist and Baptist.
No,
I actually don't.
I don't either. I'm guessing it's semantics. I'm tell them that, but...
Yeah. I think you've accurately described the history of religion. Is it worth looking up? Probably not.
No. This isn't a religion podcast. Okay.
Second-hand scriptures.
It's the Bible.
Yep.
Right. Miss Bertha and all the rest of the new members would have to wait a while for their baptizings, unless the rains came soon.
Oh, no.
There was lightning that night, though not the kind that promised rain. It was heat lightning flashing about the sky far off.
Heat lightning? I suppose that makes more sense to people who live in that climate.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be like tornado weather, would it?
I don't know.
Tennessee? Are we in Tornado Alley? I don't know. I'm not going to look it up.
Inside the church, the heat was oppressive. No breeze came through the open windows. The only stirring of air came from the dozens of fans. Palmettos, turkey tails, folding fans, painted with scenes of faraway beaches, stiff cardboard overalls embossed with colourful advertisements, heavy paper creased into accordion pleats, held in dozens of swaying hands.
I'm sorry, was one of those things that people were fanning themselves with cardboard overalls?
No, stiff cardboard ovals embossed with colourful advertisements.
Okay, alright, sure.
Just imagine, like, an advertisement fan that you carry around with you.
I feel like somebody's standing at the front of that church, knowing it's hot in there, and going like, here, have a free advertisement to fan yourself with. You're not going to say no.
Yep.
Huh.
The priest looks out into a sea of advertisements for the local weaver.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus will be happy about this one.
Babies, uncomfortable in the heat, whimpered until they went to sleep in their mother's arms. As they fell asleep, their mothers, one by one, tiptoed to the front of the church and gently laid the babies on a pallet spread just to the left of the pulpit.
Okay, so this is a baptism. We're lining the babies up to get them all baptised, right?
No, we can't baptise, remember? We're just at church.
They've just... Is this... Hang on, so this pallet is the church creche?
Yeah, just at the front of the room.
Oh, okay. Sure.
The pallet that night was a quilt of the bear paw pattern, a quilt described by its owner as most worn out, but soft for babies to rest on.
Is that a direct quote from the community minutes?
It's in quotes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but we've got them, haven't we?
Yeah, but that's not in there.
Oh.
Don't know where that quote came from. Anyway, older children, overcome by sleep, stretched out on the bare benches, if there was room, or they leaned and rested their heads on their mothers' laps. Neither the restless stirring of the babies on the pallet, occasionally a mother would have to leave her seat to go up to pacify a wakeful infant,
Yeah.
nor the uncoordinated movements of the fans distracted the preacher.
Good on him, I get. Just cancel church for the day, guys. Take a leaf out of the Methodist book, I don't know.
He was preaching about hell, and he was warming up to his subject. He was in the midst of a fearful description of never-ending tortures of the unsaved, when the services were interrupted in a most peculiar and spectacular way.
Do we have a ghost church? I mean, a church ghost? I forgot this was going to be a ghost story. Church ghost, church ghost.
A barrel.
Church barrel, church barrel.
A barrel, spurting thick smoke at each end, appeared from nowhere and rolled clattering and smoking right up to the pulpit.
What? I'll hold judgment for a little bit.
It looked like the preacher had conjured up a living example of hell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think this priest has a little prestidigitation hobby.
Mothers ran to the front of the church to snatch their babies from the pallet.
Oh no, they're getting overcome by sin gas. This sounds like a 60s Batman episode.
Fathers dragged groggy children outside the church. Some worshippers climbed over the benches and jumped out the windows.
Oh my god. Get away from this smoky barrel by defenestrating yourself. Yes.
The preacher pushed past the stampeding choir and escaped through the back door.
Go down with the ship, you jerk! What?
Pushing past stampeding choir boys.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, later he said he was trying to clear a safe exit for the singers, but nobody else remembered it quite that way.
Yeah, nobody else... Yeah, good. Don't let him get away with this bullshit.
Horses and mules, as terrified as their owners, broke from their tethers and ran away into the darkness.
Oh, the poor animals. Hang on, darkness?
It was nighttime.
Oh yeah, it was too. What the hell is revival?
After everybody was safely outside, after the screaming and crying and praying for deliverance had subsided, a group of the bravest men ventured back into the church to investigate.
Okay. With buckets of water. No, there is no water.
Yeah.
Oh no, if this church gets set on fire, what are we going to do?
A haze of dark smoke.
Sorry, the Methodists across the road looking over going, yes, yes.
A haze of dark smoke hung over the front of the church, but there was no barrel in the building.
Oh no, where's it gone? Did it just explode?
The men searched everywhere inside the church. There was only one room, so there weren't many places to look for the clattering barrel and or its charred remains, but they found nothing.
Okay.
They looked outside, under the church, on top of the church, around the church, in the woods, in the graveyard. There was no barrel. Only the bravest men.
I think this church is a much more rickety construction than I was envisaging. Like, this is...
Not a big stone church.
No. This is the church equivalent of a temporary removable building, isn't it? If there's an under the church.
Yes, there is a detail about the under the church, which the other version might get into, but we'll keep reading this one for now.
Okay.
The barrel had completely vanished. Only intangibles, a smoky haze, and the frightening memories remained.
I don't hate the writing. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Nothing here. Whatever it was has gone. We might as well go home too, the spokesman for the group said. So they walked home, all of them, keeping close together.
Keeping a lookout for barrels.
They had to walk home because the horses
are all gone, yeah.
It's an illustration of the horses in the barrel.
Okay. I mean, the barrel looks like a barrel. The horses... I mean...
Yeah.
It gives me much more appreciation for, like, Disney horses. That's mean. They did a fairly good job.
Yeah.
The horses do look scared.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
One more than the other.
They look also a little bit like scared thumbs.
Yeah, I'm not sure if a child drew these horses.
Oh, now I feel bad.
There are 3 people credited. Maybe the child was the artist.
Yeah.
By the next day, news of the smoking, clanking barrel that had broken up the meeting at the New Hope Ministry Baptist Church had spread all over Rutherford and Cannon counties.
Yeah, as it would.
People who have been there told these events again and again, tried to answer the questions they were asked, or became silent when confronted by rude doubters.
I mean, I feel a bit bad for them too. I do.
Yeah.
Because I am doing that to them.
Yeah. The accounts of the event were not alike in every detail.
No, really?
Some witnesses said the barrel made a circuit around the outside of the church before it entered and rolled up the aisle to the pulpit.
How would they know that? How would they know? Could they hear it? Like, oh God, imagine being in church and hearing this barrel rolling around the outside of the building.
They could hear it, because the other account, which we will get into, says that it makes a lot of noise.
It's a barrel rolling. Yeah.
Others testified that the barrel made its first appearance at the rear of the church, where it bumped and clanked towards the pulpit.
These two things are not mutually exclusive and probably are pretty conducive to the fact that someone rolled a barrel into the church. But what does this third group of people say, Amber?
Well, they all agreed, however, that the barrel appeared without warning, that smoke poured from each end, and that it made a terrible racket, like it might have been filled with trace chains and plough points that clattered together as it rolled along.
Okay, sure. I'm more stuck on the fact that these people wanted a warning.
Wanted a warning?
Yeah. The barrel appeared without warning. Was someone going to show up and say, knock, knock, hey guys, we're just going to bring a barrel in here, nothing to worry
everyone
about.
Stand by for the barrel.
Barrel in 3, 2. Oh no, too early!
Cue barrel.
Dang it, you're worked in stage productions. What would the comment be if the barrel didn't appear on time?
Where's the barrel?
Okay.
Where's the barrel?
I don't know what I expected.
Cute, go barrel.
Does anyone have eyes on barrel?
Yeah. Search for the barrel, or some tangible evidence of its strange visitation, continued for several days, but nothing was ever found.
Yeah, I think whoever was responsible for it managed to remove the barrel in the chaos.
After the smoky haze drifted away, only the memories remained.
Okay, I think we're repeating some ground here now, narration, aren't we?
Yeah. Yet people going to the church, curiosity drew humans... curiosity drew hundreds of visitors to the site.
Oh, God, now the Baptists are looking over at the Methodists going, yeah.
became uncomfortably aware that something, some powerful force, some unseen presence, some hidden menace had come to New Hope.
This is like Used Cars meets There Will Be Blood. I love it.
Pretty soon there was whispered talk that New Hope Church was haunted.
Pretty soon, yeah, that day. Do you think it started as like a miscommunication? Like, there was a barrel in the church. What kind of barrel? The one that holds spirits, you know? Oh, there were spirits in the church? Oh.
I don't know. There was talk, too, first whispered and later spoken boldly, about the cause of the haunting.
Really?
The restless, tortured spirit of a murdered man was seeking retribution.
No, I think I can guarantee you that's not what's happening here, guys. But okay, sure. Sorry. A tortured spirit who wants revenge?
Yeah.
Yeah? Barrel-based revenge? Who murdered Donkey Kong?
We're going to find out.
Oh.
Mario! According to the story, a resident of the Big Springs area, a highly respected man, had killed a pack peddler who stopped by the man's house for shelter from a sudden summer storm. Motive for the murder was never clear, but the murderer was reported to have robbed his victim, stuffed his body into a barrel, weighed the barrel down with scrap iron, and thrown it into a swift stream.
Now, did this story exist before the appearance of the smoky barrel?
Again, we're going to probably differ on the two versions.
Yeah.
Nobody provided positive proof of such a brutal deed. But there was those in the community who declared the story could be verified if you just looked in the right place.
Where's that?
The murderer, the story continued, was tormented by the memory of what he had done. He was basically a good, kind man. And he tried to...
This is some Desperate Housewives ass, like, justification.
Yes. He tried to salve his conscience by giving the stolen money to the church, New Hope.
So let's say this is all true. Mm-hmm. The church is now in possession of ill-gotten gains, and is now why the barrel has attacked the church.
Yes.
Okay.
The congregation had been meeting in homes in the community for several months while an effort was underway to build a church. Land had been acquired, labour promised, and money for the building was collected. This was in the late 1840s, a dozen or more years before the incident of the barrel.
Can I posit a different culprit? The indigenous Native American tribe who owned this land shortly before the 1840s and have been ousted by these white dickheads coming in might be a little annoyed at that.
The generous and unexpected gift of the murderer, though no one suspected him of evildoing at the time, made the building possible.
It's a microcosm of how America got built, isn't it?
So you see, sinful money went into the church house. Sinful money. That's the meaning of the barrel with its smoke and racket. It was purely a barrel of sin, a deacon exclaimed. And that's in quotes.
I'm not really arguing with him here, strangely enough.
Maybe that was the explanation, maybe not. But other strange things began happening around the New Hope Church.
Ooh.
Now, it then does go on to explain a bunch of other minor hauntings.
Okay.
If we want to jump over to the folklore version now, because the rest of that won't discuss the barrel anymore.
Okay, let's go look at the other records of the barrel incident.
Yep.
And then we can jump back to finish off the episode with some miscellaneous haunting, yeah?
Yep.
I'm just kind of glad that there is a town that has a more egregious murder-based barrel story than our own South Australia.
I hadn't even thought
At least
of
the
that.
bodies in the barrels didn't start haunting people. Hello. Anyway, what happened here in Tennessee? What really happened?
Which part should we go to? Should we go to when the barrel appeared? Or would you like to hear just how much more this one goes into detail, say, about them arriving at the church? Or
Oh, no, I don't think I need that. No. Well, unless there's clues. It says, oh, Mr. Johnson from down the street was awfully tardy in his arrival to church that day. Oh, did we get a name of our local rich man who was murdering travelling salesmen?
Yes, that's in this version, not in that version.
Ah, excellent. Let's name and shame.
Yes. Well, the priest's name is A.J. McNabb.
Oh man. I'm so used to British names that I am so here for 1840s American names.
Well, it says here...
Father A.J. McNabb. Oh.
Well, it says here, the surrounding area was soon populated by Higginbothams, McKeans, Todds, Pratters, Howlands, Newmans, Carlocks, Haithcocks, Lowes, McNabbs, and Jacobs. So those are all the families that moved into the area to build the church together.
Yeah.
These people were of staunch character who taught of their spiritual needs as well as their physical needs. Special emphasis was given to family worship. So those were the people that were the good ones who built the church.
The people who actually did the building of the church, right?
Yes.
Because there's the thing, the church got built, so the nebulous concept of it, the church, paid a bunch of local people with their own ill-gotten gains to actually build the church, right?
Yes.
So technically the stolen money is in the local carpenter's bank account?
Yes.
The money's not here. Well, your money's in Joe's house. That's right next to yours. And in the Kennedy house, and Mrs. Maitland's house, and 100 others.
The Tale of the Mysterious Barrel and Other Haint Tales collected in Big Springs by Luren Salmon, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Oh, names.
Yes, probably should have mentioned who wrote this version of it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just reading the back of the page there that I can see poking over the top of the book stand.
Here we go.
Yeah.
The cause for the strange happening was unexplainable. But some speculations...
I think I've done my best.
Some speculations were made concerning the event. Like the tale itself, these beliefs were handed down to children and grandchildren of Big Springs. The most common explanation found was one which concerned the dishonest acquisition of a sum of money which was used to build the church.
Okay.
Quinton Summers related... Sorry, he's not the bad guy. Quinton Summers related this best known and most accepted reason for the churches being haunted. And this is an audio transcript from him.
From him? Okay, so Quinton Summers is after the fact. He's the recipient of family law.
Yes, so it happened 90 years before these interviews took place.
Yep. So let's listen to this absolutely first-hand account.
Well, you see, there was this pack peddler. He went around with a pack on his back and had his little things, different collar buttons, cuff buttons, and pins of all descriptions in his satchel, and had it packed on his back, and he walked all the time. The pack peddler, he spent the night with this man, and this man killed him.
Oh, I didn't even think of that angle.
What?
Well... He spent the night with the wealthy
I was thinking
man?
that earlier, yeah.
I was picturing this travelling pack salesman knocking on the rich guy's door and just being shot on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, get off of my property. But no, there's something way more intimate and sinister happening here. Sinister in the murder, not in the
I know. Yep.
prior
I
activities.
understand what you mean. The pack peddler, he spent the night with this man, and this man killed him and robbed him. And he put this money in on the church. Now, this is heresy.
This is how the church worked for quite a while there.
I don't know it, but then he killed this peddler and got his money and put it in the church. That's the reason I've always heard for the church being haunted. I want to know what money a pack peddler has to fund a church. If you've got money to fund a church, you're not, like, peddling wares and...
I don't think you can build a church on buttons. Unless he's not got a bunch of buttons in his backpack. He's actually just going around sleeping with all of the wealthy gay men in town and then extorting them for money.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going with that. I feel like I'm victim blaming here. Yeah, no, I think the rich man just slept with the vagrant,
Yeah.
killed him, felt bad, and gave money
Money
to the
to
church
church.
in order to assuage his own guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So this one even says what they were reading. They were reading the book of Acts in the church.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Everyone agrees on that?
Yep.
Yep, cool. Wonderful. I'm glad we have a solid fact.
So, the impact of the strange occurrence upon the people who filled the little church that night is still felt today in the community of Big Springs, as one listens to different versions of the tale of the mysterious barrel told by children and grandchildren. Mrs. Lena Todd, an 80-year-old resident of Big Springs, related her version of the tale as it was told to her by her father, Clem Banks, who was in attendance at the meeting that strange night.
Clem Banks! Just to be clear, it might sound like I'm making fun of these people and their names. I'm not. I love them. They're such good names.
Would you like me to read the different accounts from the different interviews they did of the barrel?
Oh, go on then.
He was standing there on the outside. He hearded it, and I reckon a-comin', and he wanted to see what it was, to see what it looked like. Remember, this is a girl talking.
Yeah.
Well, this is an 80-year-old woman talking about her father.
Yeah.
Who was
she was born 10 years after the incident. Yeah.
He seen it and said that there was smoke coming out of the both ends, and it was just a rolling over and over. Well, it went on down below the meeting house, went down as far as the woods was, then I reckon. Sorry, that's really hard to read their accent.
I understand they've transcribed it in the vernacular with which it was said, and that can be difficult even with someone who isn't 100 years ago.
Yeah. He said he seen it. I heard him tell that lots of times. They was all just scared to death, I think. Horses and everything broke a loose. Some of the people crawled under the meeting house. See, it was high, and they said some of them just went under the floor, scared so bad, you know. I heard that several times. When I was a kid, I remember hearing them talk about it, seeing it, and about the horses breaking loose.
I don't think it's wrong to say that I don't disbelieve any of that. I fully believe the barrel happened.
Yeah.
It's just the method of it appearing and disappearing that I think we might be disagreeing here.
Yeah. Doc Brown.
Yes! 1.21 gigabarrels.
A 78-year-old farmer who resides at Big Springs told the following version of the tale.
No, fuck off. This is... When was Back to the Future 3 set? No, that would have been the 1880s, not the 1840s, but yeah, okay.
I heard my granddaddy talk about that. I'm not doing a Christopher Lloyd impression.
Oh, please. Can I?
Sure.
How long's the
Very
text?
short.
Yeah?
It's that second one there, indented.
Second one, yeah? Fuck, yeah, you're right. Because it's not just a Christopher Lloyd impression, it's Christopher Lloyd doing an impression of a southern Tennessean. Oh.
Great Scott! The consequences of that could be disastrous.
I haven't the chords nor the stones to attempt that.
I heard my granddaddy talk about that, but that's all I know about it. I've heard him talk about the horses all breaking loose, said the barrel come down through there just like it was full of chains, like to scare people to death and horses and everything else.
Yeah, it's not even in the kind of cadence that Doc Brown would.
No.
I can't squeeze a Marty in there anywhere.
The undertaker at Big Springs, Mr. Quinton Todd, who is 78...
Two Quintons in one town?
Yeah. Reiterated the version told by Mr. Brown. I heard them talking about it way back. A barrel come down through there like it had chains in it, you know? Broke all the horses loose, like to scare everybody to death up there. That was back yonder. They're all just saying the same. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I'm quite confident that a smoking barrel came rolling in through that church that day. Yeah? No problem with that. I agree with that 100%. Is anyone saying it was a ghost barrel full of sin that appeared and disappeared out of nowhere? I mean, granted, I'm not sure who the culprit is.
That's true.
My suspicion is the Methodists across the street.
Well, this might bring in some you might get a... This one also talks about all the other things that happened.
Mm-hmm. Corroborates the fact that there were horses that ran away from a smoky barrel.
Yeah, but also corroborates the other
random stuff.
little random stuff.
Ah, okay.
Okay, as the years passed, the people who were in attendance at the big revival meeting that terrifying night died and were buried in the graveyard at the foot of the hill where the church stood.
I mean, I'd be worried if that wasn't the case.
They all lived forever.
Yeah. Doc Brown's still there, shambling about.
Along with their deaths came the gradual dying away of the tale, which had once sent chills down their spines as they told and retold the story of the haunted church. The old church around which so many of the haint tales were centred also became a part of the past. Haint is another word for ghost.
Ah, okay.
It's a southern word for ghost.
Yeah. Haint haunt?
Yeah, but haint.
Yeah, okay.
In 1901, the haunted old church, which had for 55 years been the subject of much talk and the hub of social and spiritual life for many who had come and gone, was torn down, and a new church was built across the road. Doc Brown recalled the day they tore the old meeting house down.
That's never not going to be funny.
They moved it from above the road across to the lower side of the road. Quince, brackets Quinton Todd, Quint's daddy helped move it, and Mr. Lee Perry moved it.
You don't understand, Marty. Back in 1880s, the church was in a different place.
I know Mr. Lee split his lip open with a hatchet some way or another up there.
What?
Mr. Todd, brackets the Undertaker, took him home out there and sewed it up for him, and it was all right.
What? What's Christopher Lee doing licking an axe? What?
I think they're insinuating that he hurt himself on the site of the old church, like it continues to be a site of bad things happening.
Oh, I see. Right. Don't walk with sharp implements over the haunted site, or you might get bit. Okay.
After the church was torn down and rebuilt across the road, the mysterious noises, strange apparitions, and weird lights ceased. Miss Lena
Weird
Todd...
lights?
That was one of the other little...
Ah, okay.
Mrs. Lena Todd made this observation concerning the church. After the church was torn down and they rebuilt the other one, they never did see nor hear nothing else. But everybody was afraid of it, though. I guess there's a heap of people today that won't hardly pass up there after dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So things settled down, but we still steer clear of the place.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. Did they... Now, to quote another treasured film, did they also move the graves or just the gravestones when they moved the church?
No. Basically, after that, they say that when constructing this factual account, quotes factual account in the tales of the mysterious barrel and other haints, that they drew from many hours of taped material.
Okay.
But they have included some of it here unedited and without comment for people to read.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's very long and just a conversation. So I probably won't read that here, but
No, that's fair.
it does basically include everything that they've written. So none of this version is embellished.
Yeah, it's them proving their work of like, hey, here's the information we were going from.
Yes.
And I think you're right, we don't need to go through that. But if people do want to read that for themselves, what document is this in?
This is on the Tennessee State Library and Archives for free. And you can just type in Tennessee Folklore Society Bulletin, and this is volume 37, number 3.
Oh my god! How much folklore have they got?
Heaps.
Wow!
Yeah.
I feel like at a certain point people just start making shit up to get into the paper, but that's beside the point. Okay. But the original quotes are not included in 13 Tennessee Ghosts and Jeffrey.
No, I think you might have also noticed they talked about it was really hot. There was a drought.
Yeah.
The babies were laying at the front of the pulpit. The priest pushed people out of the way, but that wasn't in this
Right.
this version.
Okay.
This folklore bulletin. So I don't know where they got that part from.
Sure.
So I don't know. It's interesting to know that there's a little bit of embellishment. Or did they have another source and they didn't list that source?
I can believe that there may just be records of that being a long hot summer.
Which is true, yes.
And look, they are,
I
as well as folklorists, they are anthropologists, so they do want to include little details about what life is like back then.
Yeah, and I don't want to call into question their integrity or anything. I really liked that book. I think they said it really well. It was just interesting hearing the difference between the two versions.
I'll say they've done very well in adapting the material
Yeah.
to a more readable format.
Yeah, and I quite like how dramatic it was. People are rushing out of there and scared, and horses are going loose, and people are hiding under the building, and...
Oh man, I hope the horses are okay.
I believe it says in this version that they all went and rounded them all up together.
Okay. Oh, good. Now, you said there were some other haunty bits surrounding this church, right?
Yes.
Are they worth going into? Or is it just like, there was a light one night, there was a weird sound one night?
Well, why don't we read it and then you can cut them out if you don't like them. I do like the point you made earlier of like, this church was built on ill-gotten gains, oh no. And it's like, I've got bad news for the rest of your society as a whole.
Yeah.
The entire history of the church is somewhat...
ill-gotten?
Okay. Other strange things began to happen around New Hope Church. Okay. But they've unlocked the knowledge of hauntings now, so they can start, I suppose, inventing hauntings.
Yeah. Stuff springs up around a story.
People passing the church at night began to tell of seeing weird lights darting around, glowing balls of brightness that chased them down the road.
Okay. Weird lights, it's a thing. It's mirages. They don't normally chase people down the road, so I think I know where the truth and the story are separated there.
Other people told of hearing a baby crying at the deserted church. The baby would cry, they said, until passers-by walked to a certain tombstone in the graveyard and touched it. Then the crying would stop.
Oh!
Nobody could ever find where the crying came from. Just going up to touch the stone to make it stop. It's my turn to touch the stone to make the crying phantoms.
I love phantom crying babies, the spookiest thing that's happened in this story. Absolutely neutered by the fact that apparently it has a snooze button. We don't have any information about a baby dying in the fire, though, do we?
No one. Well, it doesn't. I don't believe there's any fatalities at all.
Like if you're telling this story and you've got a bunch of babies up the front of a smoke-filled church and parents are separated from them, then at some point in the intervening 90 years, surely a tragic baby death enters the story.
So embellishment to then,
Or even a whole pallet of babies up for the taking there.
Wow.
Right? And then that explains the creepy baby crying afterwards. Come on, guys, let me write a ghost story.
There were also reports of a headless man who would appear out of the darkness and try to get into passing wagons or to climb up behind riders on horseback.
Huh. What a fun twist on Headless Horseman.
Like Headless Hitchhiker.
Yeah. He's searching along for his head. He finds a barrel, pops it on. This'll do.
They say that one night, long after midnight, the headless man appeared to a local fiddler. The fiddler had been playing for a dance at a house not far away. He had been warned many times that fiddling and dancing were works of the devil.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The devil went down to Tennessee.
And he was taking a shortcut home through the churchyard. He was whistling, not to keep up his courage, but because he was happy, when right in front of him he saw the headless man.
Oh no! He doesn't have ears to hear the fiddling.
The fiddler started running. So did the headless man. The fiddler tripped over a root and stumbled headfirst to the ground. The fall knocked the breath out of him. When his head cleared, a quick survey assured the fiddler that the headless man was gone. but his precious fiddle was broken to smithereens. Maybe
that's a shame.
Fiddler had a few too many.
Yeah, this fiddler had just been getting drunk at a party, slipped and broke his fiddle, and wanted to blame it on an existing...
Just had a few too many and just ran off. Or we've got another conspiracy of some men hooking up in a graveyard.
Yeah. I was wondering what house he'd
What
been
happened?
to.
Why are you all covered in dirt? And why is your fiddle smashed up? A headless ghost chased me through the graveyard. Then there is the tale they told of the man who was dared to spend the night in the church. He was a brave man, not the kind who would take a dare, so he went to the church and let himself in. The church...
Was the priest aware of this happening?
The church was no more scary than any other dark, isolated building is.
I know, I'm going to say, haunted or not, I think of all the places that I would find to sleep at night,
Yeah.
church is pretty fair and safe.
Yeah.
It's even got a little creche up the front.
So the man stretched out on a bench up near the front and went to sleep.
Little did he know.
Along after midnight, he waked up. Stiffness from sleeping on the hard bench may have awakened him, or it may have been the bright moonlight shining in through the window by his head. He got up from the bench, stretched, and started to walk across the aisle. Suddenly, he was surrounded by a cluster of moaning, ghostly figures.
A cluster?
He's stiff, he's waking up, there's moaning figures all around him.
What are you saying, Amber?
Brave...
I'm saying that he's still asleep.
yeah.
Yeah? I immediately, any story that starts with, I woke up and... No, you're asleep. I'm sorry.
Brave though he was, the man wanted to bolt from the church, but the ghosts blocked his exit. Well, what could he do? He had nothing to defend himself with. In desperation, he snatched up the collection plates and started towards the figure, waving the plates in front of him.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is starting to explain why maybe the collection plate had been tampered with that evening.
The ghosts disappeared instantly.
I'll bet they did.
To be truthful, that incident probably did not happen at New Hope. It is the kind of tale that makes good
No, that happened
listening,
across the road in the Methodist church.
and it may not have happened anywhere.
Wow, even the book's saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Finally, the leaders decided to tear down the old church. The congregation was not disbanded, a new church was built across the road. The haunting ceased. New Hope Missionary Baptist Church is an active, thriving church now. There's preaching there every Sunday and prayer meeting on Wednesday nights.
As of this writing, though, which would have been in the 70s
yes.
sometime, was it New Hope
Missionary Baptist Church,
Missionary
Big Springs,
Baptist
Tennessee.
Church? They're still active. They're still going. They posted on Facebook a week ago.
Wow.
Yeah. They got a web page. They got their own actual web page. Yeah, but they have online sermons.
They're not going to talk about the barrel of sin.
Live stream starts in 11 hours, 11 minutes and 22 seconds.
Well, you knock yourself out.
18... Oh, this might be a different one, though. Current building, 1874? No, maybe it is. But this says... In 1869, a group of these immigrants left their Sioux City way station and journeyed north into the newly opened Dakota Territory. Firstly, that's after this story allegedly takes place, and secondly, there is war crimes hiding in that sentence.
Yeah.
Wow, is that the end of our story from 13 Tennessee Ghosts and Jeffrey?
I think so.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, as I said, there is plenty more in the tale of the mysterious barrel and other haint tales collected in Big Springs.
Gotcha.
In that people would like to really delve into some transcripts of interviews that go over the details, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But we're not going to read out here.
No, I'm not. No. I get the feeling I know what they're going to be saying. And frankly, I don't disagree with any of them.
Yeah.
I think the barrel did happen.
Yeah. In some way, the barrel happened. Maybe smoke wasn't billowing out of the barrel.
still
Because
think
I'll
it
point
could have
out
been.
that a lot of the accounts of the barrel coming in don't mention smoke. They mention it sounds like chains are inside of it. And a couple of them mention a light inside or a fiery appearance, but not all of them.
Okay.
So,
Look, I can imagine a world in which some enterprising chemist or gunpowder maker or someone has filled a barrel with glass vials and some metal stuff to break the vials.
Yeah, sure.
Such that when those two chemicals touch each other, a bunch of smoke comes out.
Yep.
So they can get the barrel to the place, and as soon as they roll it into the church, nice and hard.
Yeah.
In fact, that might be why it's rolling around outside the church, because they're
someone's
trying to roll it hard enough for that stuff to break.
they're getting it in position as well.
Yeah. Then in it goes, everyone gets scared, and after the smoke has literally, or before the smoke has literally cleared, they've been able to pull it out of there again.
Yep, and hide it somewhere. And
So the only question that remains is, who do you think it was?
I think this is one of the ones that there is no real obvious answer as to who it was. I mean, it feels like the church, like if he was sort of doing a sermon about hell, maybe. It does.
I really wanted to introduce some stagecraft to his sermons.
Yeah, maybe, but then he was running out. Maybe the effect was too good for what he thought and it scared the shit out of him. Like,
I'll be fair, the priest might not have the alchemical knowledge to do this.
but he could have hired
But
someone.
if he's paid someone to do it and they've gone a little, like, BBC Doctor Who style overboard on their pyrotechnics, then he might be scared out of his wits. Or he's running to somewhere to help figure out how to get this barrel out of there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really don't know. I think it's either that church's pastor. Who was it again? We had a name, didn't we?
Yeah,
Was that McGee?
no, A.J. McNabb.
AJ McNabb. It's either AJ McNabb pulling an AJ McPrank, or it's the Methodists just down the street who are absolutely sick of this Mrs. Bertha.
That's right. Wanting to constantly be...
She's like the Lucy to the Methodists' Charlie Brown. No, I'm not going to reconvert this time.
She's lining up again, pushing in front of you, and you're like, come on, you've already had it go. Like,
Yep.
Now, just one more thing.
Yep.
It says in the Tale of the Mysterious Barrel and other Paint Tales,
Okay,
the
yep.
folklore bulletin, it says what they were reading, what the preacher was reading.
Oh, yeah, they were reading something from Acts.
Acts. I've
right?
just looked up what they were reading in Acts.
Oh, we've got, like, the actual verse.
I believe so. Yes, he was reading Acts 2:1 and Acts 2:2. So...
Oh, you got a good preacher voice going there?
When the day of Pentecost came, they were all together in one place. Suddenly, a sound like the blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. Cue barrel.
Yeah.
Barrel go.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. I don't think it was the Methodists anymore. I think it was AJ McNabb.
They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated and came to rest on each of them. Barrel go. Cue barrel.
So the bulletin calls out which exact Bible verse they were reading at the time,
Yes.
but doesn't then transcribe that verse to be like, hey,
Yeah.
obviously this is what's happening. Oh my God. Okay, despite how deceitful it is, I know who my MVP is for the story.
It's an AJ McNabb.
It's AJ McNabb. Wow.
You like that he did it?
Yeah. Like he tried to essentially 4D theatre his revival evening to such an extent that we are still talking about it like 180 years later.
Yeah. And he could never have
No,
realised that.
He did not know what impression he was making. Now, it is a shame that he hired Bunsen and Beaker to put this barrel together, but there you go.
I think I might go maybe with Bertha.
Bertha's a good, yeah.
She just wants to be in the church.
Yep.
And good for her if that's what she wants at that point in time.
I don't think she wants to be in the church. I think she wants to be the centre of attention.
Yeah, then she's rorting the system. Oh no, I have to get baptised again because I accidentally got baptised by a different church. And now to save my soul, you'll have to baptise me again to save me. Rinse and repeat every summer.
Yeah. Now, there is a certain logic to making sure you are baptised first.
Yeah.
Because imagine getting in that baptism water after the 14th person. Yeah. Also, with the Methodists, do they baptise or do they do like the Eucharist?
Oh, I'm not sure. Don't know the difference.
Don't know.
Yeah.
The Eucharist is like the
oil.
the body of Christ.
Oh,
I
I see. Yeah.
Probably not going to look it up, I'll be honest. But we've got one more thing to take
Word
care
award?
of today. Word award. Word award.
Haint is pretty good
Haint is good.
because it's a new relevant term for the podcast.
Yeah, haint.
Haint tales is really cool.
The rest of the text wasn't that particularly flowery or purple.
If you read the transcripts, they're very dense in southern, like being written verbatim.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think I know my word award. I think it's going to be Headless Hitchhiker. Purely for the novelty
Yeah.
of the fact that we have a Headless Horseman, sans horse.
Thank you for letting me read a story. I hope you see why when I read The Barrel of Sin,
The Barrel of Sin!
I was like, I think we have to read this.
Yeah.
I love it because it's not strictly a ghost necessarily, but they all treat it like it's one.
Yeah, they do all seem to think it is a legitimate supernatural experience.
Yeah.
So I think it falls under the same umbrella.
Yeah. A religious experience, at least. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, religious, supernatural, it's all tied up together in this.
That's the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, isn't it?
The Holy Barrel of Sin.
Unholy!
I hope you enjoyed being the one read to.
I did, thank you very much. And who knows who will be reading what kind of experience on next week's episode of Secondhand Hainting.
Yay!
This week's story from 13 Tennessee Ghosts and Jeffrey by Kathryn Tucker Windham, with excerpts from the Tennessee Folklore Society Bulletin, Volume 37, Number 3. Episode edited by Callum Patrick for the Peas in a Podcast Network.